My name is Father Miguel BRISEñO with the Conventual Franciscans. I've been here at the Ysleta Mission since August of 2010. The mission was established back in 1682. The Tiguas came down to this part of the state to establish their home, but also along with the Franciscans and also the Spanish missionaries came down to this part of the state and established what we have now today as the Ysleta Mission. The original building was an old adobe shack, but was destroyed with the river because the river would move back and forth, and several of the missions were destroyed because of that. And so that's why this one's up off the ground, because they didn't want it to be destroyed again by the river, the Rio Grande.
Well, I've been here since I was 6 years old. So I think you can say almost most of my life. And this is where I started going to Mass with my mom, made my first Holy Communion here. And so since then, it's been my mission. I had my children, my 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy. And so they started coming to Mass here too. And when they were little, my mother used to bring them to offer flowers in May for Our Lady. They made their first Holy Communion. They were also baptized here and confirmed. So that's why we're one mission.
I think when we think about church, I think sometimes we think the church as a building, but the church is really the people. It's the people who make up the church. And yet we come to worship in a building, but again, it's the people who make it happen. And so even though this building has gone through all sorts of renovations and different structures and maybe destruction, but in the end, the people have always been here. And the dedication and commitment of the people in the lower valley or the Mission Valley to come and actually make sure that this continues. With the Ysleta Mission Festival, it's actually started a festival for the school to raise funds. And it began to grow. It was known as our Mount Carmel Festival, but we also saw the connection that it needed to be to the mission, because that's who we are as our history. It's connected to the mission.
So I remember walking to the festival from our house with my grandma, and she would go to the gordita booth or the cafeteria and start making gorditas, and I would play in the cafeteria doing cakewalk with all the kids or playing outside, checking out all the booths and seeing what prizes we could win. And as I got older, it was more about the food. So it's funny to come back and to see how much it's grown, but to see that all those same things are still there. There's still the games for the kids, and there's still the amazing food, and now there's so many choices.
Our annual bazaar was what we waited for. It wasn't as big as it is now. The booths were very small. There weren't as many, but we came to have fun. They had music. They also had matachines. And we just came as teenagers and had a lot of fun. They had a little jail, and they would get the kids to, I don't know, maybe just to put them in jail so they could get some money. We have to pay 25 cents to bail them out. So we had a lot of fun doing that. And so I just had a lot of good memories since then. Now it's grown, it's huge now.
This is I would say a major fundraiser for the parish. And so, but also, I see it as a means in which we gather the community from all sorts of parts of El Paso. And so it's important that we come to allow people to come and see what's actually here and experience not only the entertainment, but also the food.
A gordita is different from a tortilla. They're smaller and they're a little bit thicker, and then they're fried in oil.
They slice it as soon as they're fried, and then they're filled with all the ground beef, so you have the saltiness of the meat and the potatoes.
You fill them up with the lettuce tomato, and cheese.
Salsa that they give you on the side, so I love spice, so I have to put extra salsa in.
And that's a gordita.
They're a little heavenly pocket.
The gorditas they're known for the gorditas. People look forward to, every year they talk about the gorditas, so that's something that this parish is known for.
We've been very famous for our gorditas. I remember seeing my mother make gorditas in the booth. She'd also make them at the house, but in the booth it's just like these ladies are tremendous. You can just hear their hands clapping where they make the gorditas. They make them so fast. And every gordita is the same size, the same depth.
Ever since I was little, I used to love seeing my grandma in the kitchen. And her making gorditas for the church is always a memory I'll never forget. She would just be in there for hours. And she would, get the ball of masa and she would form it in her hand super fast and it would make like the perfect little patty.
To see them do this, you just get inspired just looking at them. And I've tried to help them, but I don't last there very long.
I know last year I helped out with the gorditas back there with the hot oil, so I know it's a lot of hard work, but I know the joy that it brings to people who are standing in line waiting for, their taste of the gorditas.
What's amazing about this festival is that it's all volunteers. This is what makes the festival, is those volunteers and the community that comes together to do this special event once a year.
Now that I'm in the Guadalupanas, I enjoy being in the gordita booth. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun being all together with our Guadalupanas and Carmelitas, and we just enjoy it, dancing in the booth with the music.
It's because of community involvement and so the importance of building and the coming together and having breakfasts, selling gorditas and all sorts of things to help provide the means to build what we have today.
I feel like this festival truly is everything that I love about growing up and the special memories that I have, that you're celebrating the Mexican and Mexican-American culture, the Native American culture, all the food that has come about and makes El Paso special, and just the community and, reuniting with family and friends. It's like a big family reunion coming to this festival.
Ya se acabó. Estaba muy bonito entonces, pero pasaban, aquel tiempo feliz.